Alright, so this is our first talk. Our guy that's going to share is Johnny Ox. He's from the Southwestern Ontario Band of Brothers. Good guy. And the name of this talk is called The Poser. So I'm just going to give a little bit of kind of lead into this. So the whole idea of the poser is first found in the book of Genesis when it's talking about the first fall. We see God's created Adam and Eve, and he's created Adam to have dominion. You know, he's to rule over the earth, exercise authority, and he tells him to subdue it. So you can look at that as, you know, kind of almost a hint that, hey Adam, there's going to be some things coming on along the way that you have to watch out for, but he doesn't give him any details or anything, because this is what Adam's created for, right? So he's trusting Adam. But when the enemy comes, the serpent comes to tempt Eve, Adam's right there, and he does nothing. He does not subdue the enemy. And so, ever since then, the human race has had the same fault as Adam. You know, when adversity comes, sometimes we get paralyzed. But, you know, it's a condition, I think, all of us, you know, growing up, we're aware that there's something not quite right in our human condition. You know, have we really got what it takes is kind of a question in the back of our mind all the time, and we doubt. And what happens is that because we're not really sure we've got what it takes, that we're really a man, we don't really want anybody else to see that question. We don't want to see have anybody look in and see where we are failing, where we're falling short. And so we put up this pose, hence the title of the talk, The Poser. We kind of portray ourselves as having it all together. There's different forms of posing. You know, there's always the obvious one of being the macho man. You know, I'm so tough, I can take on anything. But there's also the other side of it, where, you know, we kind of portray ourselves as being the nice guy. You know, we're afraid to be too aggressive. The mistakes that Adam made was he wasn't willing to risk. He wasn't willing to fight, and he wasn't. Let me just take a second to note. I want the wording right. So he's not willing to risk, not willing to fight, and he wasn't willing to rescue Eve. His enemy's there, he's tempting her, and he doesn't step in between to protect her. And that's another failing that we often have, is we don't necessarily step in for the beauty, right? She takes wounds as well, and it's up to us as the man to step in there between her and the enemy and fight for her. We put up a good show sometimes. You know, we want to be the brave man. You look at all our movies, what are they about? You know, there's some enemy coming in, threatening. So the hero rises up and says, hey, no way. And there's pretty much always a beauty to rescue, a damsel in distress, so to speak. And that's really the story of our lives. So anyway, from here I'm going to let Johnny take off.